السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا. من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له. وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له. وأشهد أن محمد عبده ورسوله صلى الله عليه وسلم. Amma ba'd. Verily all praise and thanks are for Allah Ta'ala alone, that associate no partners. And I beg or seek his forgiveness. And I seek refuge in him from the evil of my own self and from my evil actions. And whomsoever Allah Ta'ala guide, there is no misguidance. And whomsoever Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala misguide, there is no guidance. And I openly testify to the fact that none has the right to be worshipped except Allah Ta'ala alone, without any partners and associates. And I bear witness that Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam is the slave and slave servant of Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. Proceed. I'd like to, inshallah ta'ala, begin with welcoming you, ahlan wa sahlan, and making dua for you, barakallahu feekum, and thanking you, jazakallahu khairan, for giving us the time for you to observe and watch our tapes or our videos. And I hope and pray that, inshallah ta'ala, bi'ifni Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, by the permission of Allah, that you benefit from the lessons and the experience that S24 Protection Self-Defense Academy has in dealing with real life situations. Okay, so inshallah ta'ala, we're going to continue, inshallah ta'ala, with what we have planned for today, inshallah. So we're going through part 6, the series on how to protect yourself when being arrested, being jailed, or incarcerated. And hopefully, if you are a first timer, then let that be your last time, inshallah ta'ala, because it is nothing beautiful about having your rights and having your life on stop as far as sociability, dealing with the outside world, being able to communicate with loved ones and so forth like this here. So inshallah ta'ala, I just wanted to make that as a reminder that I'm not making these videos to encourage or to make things seem much easier, but I am only trying to help those who may wind up in this situation so they will not be preyed upon. I make that very clear. So they will not be preyed upon by the people that are in there with them. So inshallah ta'ala, just like if it was my loved one or someone that I truly loved or someone that I cared about, I would want them to be well no matter what the situation is. So in the same case, I believe that you and I and anyone else should have the same understanding to try to give them some knowledge or give the people knowledge on what's on the other side. A lot of times we go to the prison systems and we see from the visiting rooms or whatever the case may be, the people look like they happy. Majority of the time they working in the receiving room or they working in where the people are coming in or whatever the case may be, or you may see some prisoners or some people that's inside of the facility, and you may see them smiling and they look like they're in the visiting room, they look happy, you know. Don't get drugged in by this, you know. I'm just giving this as a reminder as well. Don't get drugged in by what you see, because honestly, when people put on this facade, they put on this this face, what do you call Dorratain, or this two-faced, this face that's not real. They put on this facade. So therefore, inshallah ta'ala, but and really in their heart, you know, when that person leave that visiting room, honestly, they become saddened. They miss that attachment. They look for letters and so forth like this, people to write them. When they get on that phone, they look for someone to answer that phone. And if no one answers that phone, they think of the worst, like what's happening, because you're not there to protect what's yours. So I just want to give you the information as well, pertaining to what we're going to, what I'm going to teach you or give you some information upon today. Like I said before, this is like for people that's never been to prison before, and they may have to wind up in this situation for whatever the reason, and they won't be preyed upon and so forth like this here. Okay, and they won't get lost up in the system. So inshallah ta'ala, I hope it be a first timer. May you not never go there. But if you do have to go there, by the permission of Allah, by the decree of Allah, then guess what? It's good to have these smarts before that happen. And, just have this in your arsenal. Because, like I said before, it don't necessarily mean you got to go out there and commit a crime intentionally. It can be just where it's that you just, like you said, you're driving your car. Your insurance is not paid up on your vehicle. And the little boy just dash out in the street from nowhere. And, unfortunately, you have some people that's intoxicated, people that's out there in the dunya. You have people that's doing things that they shouldn't be doing, and they hit somebody. Man, Lord protect the people, and, they got to answer for that. By the time the people come and the public official, they come, and the officers, and they ask you the question, what happened? They smell the reek of alcohol, or your eyes is dilated, and so forth like this here, dilated, and you look like you are under the influence. Your cars are wrecked inside, and so the little boy laying over there could be a dead or alive, whatever the case may be. But you got to answer for that. So they're going to take you to jail. And you're going to be booked. So I'm just saying, it can be domestic violence. It can be anything. You and your wife or your husband, y'all get into a little argument, and you know how the people are from years ago in Jahiliyyah, the people before we became Muslim and so forth like that. Even the ones that's not Muslim, it happens. They get into a little tussle, whatever. The police come out. It ain't even got to be a major thing where you put your hands on her or she put her hands on you. Guess what happens? You going to jail. One of you leaving out of there due to the simple fact that they tired of coming out there, or it was a waste of time. So somebody got to leave that house. So a lot of times they take one of y'all, one of us to prison system or to the jail. Okay, so it can be something small. Like I said, you forgot to pay a bail. You forgot to pay anything. You forgot about your court date. Anything. You was with somebody and they did something. You didn't do anything. Like you really didn't do anything, but neither did you try to stop it. So you kind of help respond to call it a conspiracy. All right. So the thing is here you go. You can wind up in that prison system for just about anything that you can think of. So here we go. So getting to the topic of the day is keeping your mind occupied with beneficial matters. A lot of times people, the reason why I say that, because a lot of people go to the system and, they can go there for a little meatball, little meatball case or whatever the case is, and they come out with a whole plate of spaghetti, with meatballs, because they went in there for one thing, and it can be very small. When they get there, people push them to the point where is that they can't take it. They already stressed out, and they mess around, hurt somebody, hit somebody in the head with something, just that easy. That person died, and you there for the rest of your life now. All depends on whether it was self-defense or whatever the case may be. But now you got another charge. You got another charge. You went there for a misdemeanor charge on maybe domestic violence or, whatever it may be, But it's a minute charge. And now you find yourself there for 20 years of your life. Like you went there, you be coming home in about 2 weeks, basically. You be coming home in 30 days, you know what I'm saying? And you find yourself there for, a whole 10 years, 20 years of your life, whether it's 5, whatever the case may be. So I'm just really touching on some things that's important as well, okay? I know a lot of times we talk about everything on the outside, but people never want to fathom the reality that it is a reality, that we're not delusional to the point that, hey, you may be actually handcuffed one day. You may be put into a situation one day, and you got to, do what you got to do. And this is the honest, the truth. A lot of people carry firearms, they carry mace, they carry these things, and, they don't really fathom that they may have to use that. And if they're not correct, they have the correct understanding on how to use that firearm and when to use that firearm, then guess what happens? They wind up in jail for the rest of their life, even if they got license to carry, because they misuse the firearm. So therefore, it's a lot of the people that got firearms got children. They leave it laying around. The child shoot themselves with their firearm. You are held responsible for that. These are rules and regulations. You got to understand. Okay? This is very, very important. You can go there for just about anything. Your child fall down the steps, and here we go. You wasn't there to protect your child. They just come in, they take your child, and they arrest you. It can be your child, you upstairs, you doing whatever, your child get held or something, and next you hear a scream, and next thing you come downstairs, may Allah try to protect the children, and here it is. It's just that simple, and here you go, you off, like, man, what did I do? I didn't even do anything. Yes, you became neglectful. This is what they're going to say. So I just want to let you know that. So getting back to keep your mind occupied with beneficial matters while you're there, because a lot of times people go there and they don't know what to do. They don't have a clue what to do, and they wind up in stuff that they shouldn't get involved with. Whether it's for peer pressure, whatever it may be, but they find themselves, and they might link up with a guy from his neighborhood that he never really hung with in their life, but now he feels he got to prove himself, because he don't want nobody to go on the street and say, hey, guess what, dude was up there, man, dude the chump. Dude up there, man, ain't nobody, man. They was taking his stuff and all that. So now what happens is, psychologically, you find yourself, and the people find themselves, with peer pressure, and they got to go out and they got to do stuff. They got to get involved in things that they're not really involved in. Like I said before, they come there with something that small, and then they come out with something that they go in and stay there for something that big, just because they couldn't be a man. They didn't keep their mind occupied with beneficial things. So some of the beneficial things that first timers or whatever the case may be, if they so happen to ever have to go there for whatever reason, is books. Books are very important. Books are literature is like one of the best things that a person can get involved in, because you're already closed in, so you want to get your mind at a certain distance away from I guess if you want to use reality, because you need escape once in a while. You want to be delusional or nothing like this is not happening, but you want to be there, then you don't want to be there. The reality is that you're there. You're physically there, but they cannot control your mind. This is very important. Do not let the body control your mind. They control your body. They tell you when to go to sleep, when to get up, when to go to chow, when to eat, when you can make phone calls, when you can have visits. They control everything of your physical being. How much you eat, all of these things like this here, right? What you can have, what you can't have. But one thing you can't let them control is your mind. Okay? You cannot let them control your mind. You can't let the system get into your mind. This is the reality, because a lot of people let this happen. Like I said before, they go there for something small, then they get involved with stuff they should involved in because they bored. They got nothing to do. Okay? And the shaitan, when a'udhu billahi min ash-shaytanir rajim, okay, finds a way in and control that individual to have them in all kinds of stuff they never ever would have believed that they would have ever been in. Okay? So it's real important, inshallah, that you remember that to keep your mind occupied with beneficial matters. Books. Read a lot of books, Malik al-Shabazz, our brother Rahimullah, you have some know about Malcolm X. Hey, he couldn't read that good. He went to prison. And he wound up picking up books. He started reading, man. He memorized the whole dictionary, as they say. He allegedly supposed to have memorized the whole dictionary over, I think, time plan that he was in prison, 8 to 10 years, I believe. And Allah Ta'ala took him through, him from being a criminal, right, to coming to be a semi-righteous man, by coming in through that. Back in the day, the FOIs and Nation of Islam and all that, which he thought was the correct way, but this is the way that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala brought him into Islam upon the Sunnah. So he had to go through all of that, coming from out there, getting cleaned up, believing that was the truth, but it's what he believed, okay? And it, and the law opened his eyes up and had him realize what? That Islam, true Islam, it come from Allah and his messenger, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, okay? Not from the Nation of Islam. So, but while he was there, he read books, he studied, he took his mind, because he was a problem at first, he was a problem. He got in trouble in there and so forth, with putting the hole, all that, right? So the thing is, but he had to start using his mind. He started using his mind. He said, yo, this is not going to work for me, basically. So he started reading a lot of books. Okay? And one of the books that he picked up was the Western Dictionary. Okay? Now, not saying that you need to go and be incarcerated to be educated. No, I'm not saying that. What I am saying is how he spent his time. Even out here, you should spend your time the way it's supposed to be, because we know about the surah wal asra wa inna insana lafi khusr illa alladhina aminu wa amilu salihati wa tawassaw bil haqqi wa tawassaw. By the token of time, really man is in loss, right? Except those who what? That wa asra inna insana lafi khusr illa alladhina aminu, and those who practice righteous deed wa amilu salihati wa tawassaw bil haqqi, and those who what? Speak the truth, right? Call to the truth, right? And have patience, and be upon patience with consistent patience, to be consistent upon patience, right? So we're lost, basically, if we don't, take care of our time, because time is everything. Time is everything. So, none of us is guaranteed that time. So Malik al-Shabazz, rahimahullah, this is what he done. He memorized that dictionary, Allah took him from one state to the next, and alhamdulillah, he died upon knowing who Allah and his messenger was truly. So books, read books, read books that's beneficial. All the books that they read with the, naked photos and all this kind of stuff. These are the things that you don't want to get involved. That's only going to really entice the shaitan. It's going to increase your anxiety. It's going to make you depressed. It's going to make you think about your girl, your wife. It's going to make you thinking about, stuff like that you shouldn't even be really focused on. You should be focused at this time on you, how to better yourself, because you're limited to all the resources outside. So the only thing you have now is what? Allah. You have Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to depend on and rely on for everything. Your sanity, your health, everything. Okay? So there's no doing you basically out there. So, and when you're in there, this is what you have to do. You have to turn your reflection to your creator. So, that's real important. So next, another thing, keep your mind occupied with beneficial matters is, pick up, first of all, get a Quran, get a Quran. This is the time for you and your Lord. As Shaykh al-Islam Ibn Taymiyyah, rahimahullah ta'ala, our noble Shaykh, rahimahullah, Shaykh al-Islam Ibn Taymiyyah, rahimahullah, when he was put in prison, he was put in prison. They were chasing him out. They chased him out of his homeland because he was calling people to the truth. Okay, his people at that. So, but here's a lesson. This is a beautiful lesson. And this lesson is, whereas when they, he said they may, chase him out of his homeland, right? He said they may chase him out of his homeland. And he said that will be a spiritual journey. Like he didn't look at, like we get ran out of our homeland and, or we, something taken from us, or they, we get depressed. He said this will be a spiritual journey, because the hardship that you're going through, Allah is going to give you the rewards. Allah is going to give you the rewards because of the hardship that you're going through. He became stronger because he had faith. He had iman, servitude. You know what I'm saying? So he said, if they run me out of my town, he said, that will be a spiritual journey. He said, if they was to imprison me, you hear this? He said, if they was to imprison me, to put me in prison, he said, this will be what time for me and my Lord. He said he didn't say, oh, I gotta go to prison. He said this will be time. He accepted. He accepted what was coming. He said, and if they was to imprison me, he said this will be time for me and my Lord. Are you listening to this? How many people can actually be like this with Iman? So it's real important. And then he said what? He said, and even if they was to exile, he said, even if they was to murder me, if they was to kill me, he said what? Then I would die a martyr. I would die a shaheed. I would die for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's sake. So he would be guaranteed Jannah. So it's nothing you basically can do to me, as he was saying. And he did die in prison. He did, and while he was in prison, he wrote books, he gave classes, he did all this. Not saying that we have to go to prison and do this. Let's not even fathom that. We're saying that if so happened you had to go to prison, then then this is what one should look forward to. He should take care of himself, his mind first. Keep your mind occupied with beneficial matters, beneficial things. All right, so we take that story of Shaykh al-Islam Ibn Taymiyyah rahimahullah ta'ala, who Allah loves because Allah blessed him with beneficial knowledge. He benefited with a tawheed. He gifted him with fiqh. He blessed him with understanding of the religion. So inshallah ta'ala, we take that story from Shaykh al-Islam Ibn Taymiyyah, his life, and we say, wow, if I ever wind up in a situation like that for whatever reason, then I know that his method of sustaining himself by keeping himself upright. You don't hear stories that he did this, did that. No, he stayed righteous. Okay, he stayed righteous. Okay, because we all don't know when we're going to go to prison. We don't know when somebody knock on your door and kick your door and say, okay, come on out, you're going to prison because I told you to stop, worshiping what you worship. Okay, prime example. It happens. People attack you because of who you are, or what you believe in. Okay? So you never know when you might have to go to prison. So we're going to stop here. Inshallah ta'ala. Barakallahu feekum. May Allah ta'ala reward